Hola, hola, soy Brenda Correa García y trabajar con el kit ha impactado no solo mi labor, sino también mi propósito de vida. Ha transformado mi manera de acompañar a los adolescentes, permitiéndome escucharlos mejor, reconocer su creatividad y ver en cada uno un líder en desarrollo.
There wasn't even space for young people to bring up the needs and concerns that we had because there was no systematic engagement of asking the youth population on what they need.
There's young people everywhere with lots of energy, lots of eagerness to be involved in their community, to make change, very creative folks. And UNICEF hadn't really yet connected to that energy.
I think the challenge with adolescents is just that their agency, like it was very clear that this was not an age group that you were giving something to, but that you were kind of walking alongside to see how you could just help their day-to-day be a little bit easier.
Young people are on the front line. They are the first responders, the 24/7 responders, and the last responders, because they are living in those outlying communities where outside aid often can't reach there in time. And so young people are there doing that work. And the more we can support them to develop their capacity, their skills, their knowledge and understanding to be able to do it as effectively as possible, we're strengthening them as individuals, we're strengthening them as community groups, and we're strengthening their ability to support their communities. So an investment in young people and their skills is an invaluable investment. And the Adolescent Kit is such an easy and accessible way to do that.
What we saw in Uganda was that the team there, the new innovation team that was really part of the UNICEF office, was developing these new ways of collaborating with young people, engaging them. So they were actually designing resources that were helping them to either solve problems that were affecting them or to kind of tap into new opportunities or tap into new possibilities they wanted to be pursuing.
We had projects like U-Report, which was helping young people to become kind of like the eyes and the voices of their communities. They really became kind of like the reporters in their communities.
It is important to work not only for children and adolescents, but with them. And what does working with means in practice and in holistic meaning of work? There is a very thin line when you understand working with and then really partnering with adolescents and listening to them.
It helped us to realize also that this was a whole area that UNICEF hadn't on a global level really tapped into yet. Those ideas came together in what became our framework of 10 competencies. So we thought if adolescents are developing and using and enjoying the benefits of 10 fundamental competencies, 10 fundamental skill sets and attitudes that are essential to well-being, they will be feeling better, developing good connections with each other, developing good connections with the people around them. They will be learning and developing and really growing to their full potential. And they will be doing that by engaging with the world around them and with each other, working together on projects and initiatives that interest them and that address their priorities.
My name is Jason Robinson. I'm a Canadian artist and designer based in Brooklyn, New York. I joined the Adolescent Kit design team toward the beginning of the project.
Jason, with his talents for human-centered design, he was able to help us to think in new ways about how we listen to young people and understand their needs and their priorities and what kinds of programs and also what kinds of supplies are going to actually be helpful to them. And additionally, he was able to help us really leverage some lessons from UNICEF's supply division around the world and from the UNICEF teams who use those supplies and think about how could we think differently about UNICEF supply kits, especially educational toolkits or the kinds of toolkits we use with young people and children affected by conflict.
As a designer, you have to look at what you're trying to accomplish at the end of the day. And it's really easy to go with the bells and whistles, thinking that this is, the cutting edge is the best thing to do. It really was about young people expressing sort of their creativity, young people expressing and thinking through problems in their communities. So really the exercise is one within the mind at the end of the day, and so then really all you need is sort of like, a pencil and paper or some sort of writing surface. You need activities that allow young people to engage with each other, to share ideas, and to organize with one another, to ideate and problem solve with one another. And that's conversation, right? Ultimately.
My name is Tiziana Garcia Tapia. I'm the Adolescent Development Specialist at UNICEF East Asia Pacific Regional Office. And I started working with the KIT about 10 years ago. I was working with a lot of adolescents in peace building education. And so I was also really lucky to have the opportunity to contribute to it and to sort of in a way mold it from the South Sudan experience.
Our team did a lot of projects that found ways to connect to young people using technology and many other ways. But that was like one of the main, I would say, drivers of our work was really getting UNICEF and young people working together in collaboration.
And I think that is why the Adolescent Kit has been as impactful and has been continued to be used 10 years, later.
El kit para la expresión e innovación Adolescentes de UNICEF no solo me formó como persona, me dio herramientas para entender mi entorno, escuchar mi comunidad y actuar desde la empatía. A través de él comprendí que la transformación social comienza cuando los jóvenes aprendemos a expresar, crear y acompañar a otros.
أدوكيت خلتني نثق في راسي وناخذ قراراتي بوحدي.
أدوكيت خلتني نكتشف شخصيتي ونبين بالقدرات ديالي.
أدوكيت جاي مشغل توصل كيودا.
Ha sido algo muy gratificante y de bastante crecimiento para mi vida. Terminé encontrando al líder que había en mí.
Kit remaja yang ke-10. Dari modul itu, saya belajar cara mengatur usaha kecil, melayani pelanggan lebih baik, bahkan mencatat keuangan bengkel.
Kesan saya selama mengikuti lingkar remaja, saya sangat merasa senang, happy, bisa berkenalan bersama teman-teman baru, banyak pembelajaran, si fasilitator yang luar biasa.
Para mí el kit de expresión e innovación para adolescentes de UNICEF es más que una guía, es un espacio seguro, es una experiencia que me ha permitido creer en mí misma, liderar y transformar opciones en el territorio. He descubierto nuevas formas para expresarme, para entender mis emociones, para enfrentar con resiliencia cada uno de los retos que se me han presentado en la vida. Gracias a estas actividades he podido relacionarme de una manera más asertiva y construir relaciones sanas, tanto conmigo misma mejorando mi diálogo interno, como con las demás personas en mi entorno.
The Adolescent Kit became the heart and the soul of the program because I decided that those young people can keep showing the people how they have been doing with their lives and all the things they have achieved, but with another kind of tools that other young people not just listen to them, but start getting to know themselves and taking action in their communities.
My name is Irene Naiga. I serve as education specialist at UNICEF. I've worked with the Ministry of Education and Sports to support the development of the Life Skills Toolkit in Uganda. It was a 2-year process. The ministry recognized the challenges a lot of our young people were experiencing, particularly on increase in teenage pregnancy and other vulnerabilities to violence, child marriage, etc. And the materials that were existing at the time were fragmented. And we modeled this toolkit on the UNICEF adolescent kit for expression. And so, yes, that is the origin of the toolkit, and it's a ministry-owned resource.
بالنسبة لي أدوكيت خلتني نثق في راسي ونتواصل مع الآخرين.
أدوكيت خلتني نعرف الشخصية ديالي ونسطر الطريق ديال الحياة ديالي.
When I joined UNICEF Indonesia office in 2016, the office was implementing this adolescent kit program there. We implemented the adolescent kit activities in 2 islands, in one in Kupan Island, and then the other one is the Florence Island. And then young people, youth facilitators, and young, adolescent participants, they did very well in those locations.
We embarked also into an understanding of why addressing disasters was so important for the community, and worked with the adolescents to really link how the lack of water in a drought or the flooding just affected every single aspect of their lives. And I think putting it into context for them was really important, because they didn't see it as an activity, but they saw it as a contribution to their communities. And because the kit is so flexible and adaptable, you can do that.
In one of the village in the Kupan province, young people, they conducted the adolescent kit activities, and then they did the community assessment. What are the disaster risks that they're facing? What are the challenges they're facing? And then they identified that issue of drought, the lack of water. And then as part of this adolescent kit activities, they identified this challenge, and they proposed the solution idea to install a well in their community.
In 2022, at the onset of the war in Ukraine, a lot of the youth centers at the onset of 2022 became spaces for volunteering, for receiving people who are displaced, for giving them any sort of relief that was available by young people in the community. And this is where the adolescent kit kind of came into play. The adolescent kit was also distributed at scale to those youth centers through one of the partners that was working with UNICEF and that was trained on delivering the adolescent kit and providing it to other partners. I have a sense that the adolescent kit also was used as a at-hand resource for people who were in those youth centers, mainly young people and youth workers that were delivering the adolescent kit for their peers with quick training or quick rapid understanding or explanation on what the adolescent kit is.
الجريس ستريس اللي نعيشوا فيه ولقينا رواحنا عملنا برشا اكتيفيتي لقينا رواحنا فهمنا بها رواحنا خذينا كونفيونس محلاه اكسبيريونس ونشكركم حقيقة اليافعين.
عملنا ياسر تجارب محلاهم واكسبيريونس كانت على المحلاها ياسر
وتفرهدنا ياسر واكتشفنا انفسنا وعملنا برشا حاجات مزيانه.
You see holistically the young people and you see the experiences that the young people have. I think that interconnectedness between different sectors that UNICEF works
So I saw young people learn through this process, which is like an important skill for any of us to learn, is you can make something and it's not going to be perfect the first time around. And you can make something and it's going to fall over. You know, you're going to fail. You're going to make something that's like doesn't quite work, but you've learned something. And then you're going to build on top of that. And then you're going to look over there and see what she's building and be like, oh, that's a better way to do it. So I think it's also that the confidence of like, just try, just do.
Hoy no solo aplico lo que aprendí, sino que también lo replico. Porque cada espacio donde un adolescente puede escuchar y ser escuchado se convierte en un lugar donde la comunidad también se transforma. Este kit es más que una guía, es una semilla de cambio colectivo.
So the Adolescent Kit is actually one of the perfect toolkit that you could use emergency response in peace building contexts and even in disaster risk reduction. Even for me as a facilitator, I even use the Adolescent Kit in the activities and capacity building that I do, even if they're not adolescents, because it's fun, engaging, and you know, it's something that I can just like whip up easily. I just find it really useful in this context.
As someone who has worked in country offices with UNICEF and with other organizations throughout my career, I have had the privilege to myself grow a lot with the Adolescent Kit, to see how it has served different purposes in different contexts, and to see it evolve and meet the needs of young people wherever they may find themselves and whatever situation they may find themselves. I think that the kit is a really beautiful tool that is such a versatile one and allows young people and those who engage with it, whether professionals like me or young people, to grow and respond to the needs that are truly appropriate for that context. I've sat for a year and observed for a year that in Gaza, the Adolescent Kits implementation meets very different needs and very different realities than it does in Colombia or it does in other countries. So it really has been a pleasure to see it evolve and adapt to different contexts. It is really something that also is able to capture feedback and to keep on growing and to keep on evolving.
So I'm so excited for this new Adolescent Kit website because it really makes it easier to navigate the tool itself. Like the Adolescent Kit has so much rich resources, energizers, activities, and so the new website now makes it easier to kind of choose what kind of activity I need and where. And it's all on the website itself. I could just click on one of the activities and it would show basically the page on the website and don't need to download. And also aside from that, I get to see like what's happening in the different countries, which makes it easier as well to talk about how this kit is actually being used in the Nexus work that I do as well.
It could be a resource that anyone in the world could use and access and benefit from if they want to use it. And it's also part of my hope for where the Adolescent Kit will go in the future, that as we keep on supporting it and developing it, what we're really doing it is doing more to put it in the hands of anyone who may want to use it, and we're making it something that people can use with as little extra support as possible, that it really is something people can pick up and use on their own to solve the problems that they want to solve or to strengthen the programs in the way they want to make them better, more interesting and more relevant for young people.
ميرسي بوكو على النشاطات اللي عملوا فيهم وعلى تخمامهم في الكلام ده.
Kami dari ujung pena mengucapkan selamat ulang tahun kepada Kit Remaja yang ke-10. Semoga kedepannya lebih inovatif, lebih kreatif, dan lebih banyak pelatihan-pelatihan keterampilan untuk remaja-remaja yang ada. Salam!